Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the ZHP Garage. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're going over to my aunt's place to check out slash work on her 65 Impala. And it's been a while since the master mechanic has worked on it, so we don't really know what needs to be done to it. So that's why we're just going to go over and check it out, talk about it a little bit, because she's had it since late 90s, so before I was born. So just about over 20 years she's had this car, and it's pretty trick. So we're going to go check it out. We're going to talk a little bit about what the vision is for this car, and we'll show what's been done to the car over the 20 plus years that she's owned it, and we'll just, you know, kind of go through it, show it to you guys, and let's go check it out.
So we're here at my sister's place here in San Diego. To give you a little story on their 65 Impala, my dad got it originally from actually a friend of mine's girlfriend's neighbor. So back when I was in high school, me and my buddy picked this car up and brought it home. My dad had it for, can't remember how many years, probably like 2-3 years. And then my sister fell in love with it, had to have it. So late 90s, probably like 99, maybe 98, probably 99, my sister bought the car from my dad. It's pretty much all original. 65, it's been sitting for who knows how long. She had it for a while, traded washer and dryer for the engine and tranny that was in it. The engine's still in it, I changed the tranny. She drove it for a little bit, kind of got it on the road. There was a 4-wheel drum brakes at one point, I think in 03, 02. We redid the brakes on it, all drum. She drove it for a while like that. It had, you know, tranny leaks, drivability problems. The suspension was shot because it was all original, so it got parked, you know, kids. She's been slowly kind of trying to work on it. I've been doing stuff to it. It's kind of almost to the point now it's drivable. We rebuilt the front suspension, got bigger disc brakes on the front now. Redid the exhaust, we put the same engine that's in it. Now it's got a 700 transmission, 700 R4. The interior's been redone. The door panels and stuff are original, so they're not on it right now. But after we get done getting it running again, get the front suspension done and aligned, we're gonna move to the rear suspension. We're gonna get it's got a 12 bolt in it. We're gonna get that rebuilt. Probably gonna do some rear disc brakes on it. She wants it, you know, a girl's driving it, so needs it reliable, stop good, handle good. Just a simple cruiser, no crazy power. So that's what we're going for on this thing. We got a set of 17-inch wheels for the front. We're gonna do 17s all the way around. They're the torque thrust 2s, I think the wheels are. Got CPP disc brake kit, it's a big brake, so I think it's a 4-piston caliper. Might be the 6. No, it's a 4-piston caliper. It's pretty good sized brakes. I'm trying to make it quiet and just reliable for my sister to drive. So we're here, we're gonna check it out. I haven't worked on it for a little bit, so I'm gonna go over it, kind of refresh my memory, remember, you know, see what I need to do to it still, where I left off at. We're gonna try to get this thing on the road, get it running. Open the garage here, give you a little walk around of it, and we're gonna do a little work to it, and you can check it out. Here it is, the Jewel. Sister has it buried again, so we're gonna get some of this garbage out of the way so you can look at it. But you can see the engine here. It's a little 350, probably all stock. It has the Performer air gap RPM intake on it. Just a little 600 vacuum secondaries carburetor, stock HEI. It's pretty much a stock engine. We just added the tall valve covers, give it a little bling. Got some Hedman headers, ceramic coated. I think last time she drove it, the power steering wasn't hooked up. So that's why we got the new power steering pump on it. So we got that hooked up. You can see the control arms, upper control arms, powder coated. Got the new urethane bushings. Vacuum brake booster. It was a manual single reservoir brakes before. Master cylinder now we added the power brakes and then a dual master, dual reservoir. So the rears are separate from the front. Adding an overflow, it didn't have an overflow. Just trying to get it on the road. This side here is pretty much done. All together, got the shock and everything in it. passenger, the driver's side is not quite all the way finished. So the exhaust is 2.5 inch. It goes 2.5 into 3 inch single exhaust. It's got two Dynatec mufflers, 3 inch mufflers. You can see the car's a factory AC car. It's got a leaky heater core in it right now, so we're not running any hoses to it. Probably down the road, we're going to convert that a little more modern and do away with the big box and do the aftermarket under the dash. But for right now, I'm just going to be left the way it is. It's got like the big block 4-core, 3-core. Big block radiator, the direct replacement. It's been in it for a while. I think the fan shroud was powder coated at one point. Just super dirty from sitting. It was sitting outside for easy 10 years, so it's just filthy. Once I get it up and running, we'll give it a good bath. Check this out. Found this wheel. When my sister got the Impala from my dad, these are the wheels that he had on it. And these are actually the wheels at one point were on my Camaro, the silver Camaro that's in the videos. These centerline wheels, little hand-me-downs, one car to another. But at one point, these were on the Camaro, and they were on the Impala. And now they're gonna get sold to the next person. She doesn't want to run them either. All right, you can see the interior. It's pretty decent. I think it was done back, whoops, sorry. You see the interior is pretty decent. It's probably done early 2000s. But you can see, like, because of all the weather stripping and stuff being bad, I don't know if you can see back, but the package tray kind of got warped from the water getting to it, and then that's why the door panels are off, because the water leaked in and it warped the door panels. She wants to redo it again, but at least it's decent enough to drive it. The dash pad stuff's all messed up. She wants to take the gauges out of it. She doesn't really understand what the gauges mean. Like, yeah, it runs at 160 degrees, but what's bad? Taking the gauges out, making it just simple, original. She just wants to drive it. So we're gonna get this thing running. We're gonna work on it a little bit today, the brake lines. But that's pretty much the overview of my sister's Impala that she's had for like 22 years now. February of 2010. That's the last time it was registered. So it's been sitting for easy 10 years. And it's been sitting outside. My dad had a lot of car covers and stuff on it. They weren't the best, so they just held the moisture in. It was kind of bad for it. At least now it's in the garage. We can see all the junk in the trunk. It's for the car. These are the old valve covers that were on it. Oh, this is actually the other muffler. It only has one muffler on it right now. I didn't finish the tailpipe for the other muffler. The other muffler is going to be on the outside of the frame, on this side over here. That's where the other one's going to be. It's going to go all the way out the back. Nice aluminum pulley for it. Stuff we haven't put on yet. She doesn't care about that, but she doesn't know. She just wants, as long as the key works, all the things she knows about. Oh, got there's the rest of the suspension we got to put on, the radius support. Still got to do the drag link and the inner and outer tie rods and idler arm and stuff. Got to finish up the front suspension. Brake lines like we talked about. So yeah, so we just got to get it back on the road. I just need to go over it. It's been a while since I've been over here. We had to stop on it again, you know. Her life's crazy. Now we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna try to get it done. So this is a brake line I was talking about making. So before it was just, it was non-power brakes. It was just a single master cylinder. So it just had one brake line going to the master, and then it went down to this block. You can see the rear brake line comes out the back. And that goes all the way back for the rear, then this one comes over. So now I need to divide it because now we have the front reservoir for the front brakes and the rear reservoir for the rear brakes. So now I need to take this block out and get a block that doesn't have the rear line or cap that. But I was gonna make the brake line to come down to this block to go to the front reservoir. So see how it has this loop in it? You always wanna have a loop. You don't wanna just come off at a 90 and shoot down straight, because the frame and the body you have rubber mounts, so the frame moves as you drive in driveways and stuff. It articulates a little bit. So if you have this solid, then it's just tugging on the line all the time. See, this here gives it some slack that it can move a little bit because it has a loop in it. That's why they added the loop. GM made it. All those engineers go to school for a reason. So you want to copy the same style. So I made this line, but I got the angle wrong, so I'm gonna make it again. I added the loop, so I was gonna come off of it. Kind of hard to see the angle. It's too long. But anyways, I got the wrong angle. This line got a little kink in it. So I'm gonna cut it here and I'm gonna start from scratch again. If I want to come off and come back, and I want to do a loop and then go straight down to here. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. So we're gonna make a brake line for this thing, for the front brakes. So we're gonna cut off what we used because it didn't turn out right. And there's different size nuts. There's different size, but use the same brake line. Tell this guy's smaller. This is the size nut we need. Pretty sure this is quarter. This is 3/16. No, that's bigger than 3/16. This is quarter and that's 5/8 or whatever. So that'd be quarter. So this would be quarter. This is 1/4 inch line. So that's 1/4 inch. This might be 1/2 inch. This is 1/2 inch. So we take this one off, whoosh, save it. And then we got to cut this flare so so we can use this nut. Okay, so that's trash. We're gonna slide our nut on. The worst is when you do a really trick flare and everything turns out awesome and you forget to put the nut on. So make sure the nut gets on there first. So now we're gonna get our bender. We got a variety pack here. You never know which bender you're gonna use. You might wanna use this bender, or you might wanna use this bender, or you might wanna use this bender, or maybe you need a big guy, you know, you never know. So here's one of the reasons why you have multiple benders. So you can see this is the radius that this one bends, and this is the radius that this one bends. So you can see this one will bend a tighter radius. So if you need, you know, if you're in a tighter spot, but this one can only bend a 90. As this one, you can go around and do 180. So that's why there's different variety, you know, that's why you have multiple benders. So if you kind of visualize this to where you're going, so if I want to come straight down to here at this point, then I don't have room to come out and do a big bend, because then it'll be too far out. So that's why, so I'll use the one with a tighter bend so I can come out tight, and then it should line me up. I come out and I can either come at an angle and do some twirls and then come down. So, but I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna do a tighter bend. Even if it kicks me too tight, then when I twist it, then at the end of the twist, I could be at this side. So it'll still be tucked over more. So I'm gonna do a tighter bend here. So I'm gonna get as tight to the nut as possible to get it closest. See, there's different grooves for different size lines. So pull it all the way tight and just pull it around. You gotta be careful. This line here doesn't like to get, you gotta be gentle with this, it's like thinner. You wanna look at it, because you kinda can go a tad over a 90. You wanna make sure you're at a 90. See, we got ourselves a nice little bend. So if you come through, it's kinda hard when you have a mile long line. If you look, you're pretty much lined up with it. So what we have, so I think what we're gonna do is, we're not gonna come straight back, we're gonna kick it down a little bit of an angle, and then we're gonna put the loop over here. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna do a little. So this original line, I had to cheat a little bit. I kept rounding off the end, so I cut it, and then I used a socket on the end of it to get this stupid line out of there. So in there, I kept trying to round it off, even a line wrench kept rounding. So I cut it, I used a 6-point socket, finally got it out. So now we can finish measuring up our line. So now that we got our old line out of the way, we got our loop in our new one, so we want to see how it lays out. So it's kind of hard, you kind of got to eyeball it. So now the line is almost directly above here, so if we come here and do a 90, we'll wind up coming straight down to where we need to be, and we have the loop in it. So that's what we're going to do. So right now we're going to come off of here now, and we're going to do a 90 and try to hit that block down here straight on. Pretty close. We need to shorten it up now. I think we'll be able to do a little massaging. We'll have it dead on. So now we're going to trim the line a little. Can always cut more. So I'm going to try to take about 1/2 inch or so off of it. All right, so we shortened it up a little bit. See how we wind up now. So we took the nut that we took off the line, put it in where you're trying to go, in the block, to give you an idea of where the line needs to be. So we just got to adjust this a little bit, take this down. We might shorten it up a hair more to bring it down. Probably be the best thing to do so it's not hitting the bottom of the master. I think if we just drop it down a hair more, pretty good. So there you go. So you make the line. We're going to get this thing flared and put it on. So we trimmed it just a little bit more. So before you flare, don't forget your nut. So slide the nut on. We got a 1/4 inch line. So see one side, don't flare. The other side has a flare. You want to make sure it's tight. When you go to flare it, it just doesn't push the line down. So I normally make sure, get it good and tightened down. All right, so brake lines are a double flare. So first we want to put so you put it down first to squash it down, and you squash the line down until it pretty much bottoms out. And you take your little adapter out, see it squash down, then you finish your flare without it. There's your double flare. So we'll put the bottom in first, and there you go. That's how you make a brake line. Come off, got our little loop, little flex, come down to our block. We might have to change this block, so I'm not gonna tighten this line up right now, because we might have to get one that doesn't have the rear, because I can't find the plug. Nobody seems to have it. So if I can't get the plug to plug the rear, then I gotta get one of these with just 2 outlets for the front. So we're not gonna tighten the line up right now, we're just putting it on there. That's about all we're gonna do on this thing today. We gotta get some parts ordered, miscellaneous stuff, the sway bar bushings, sway bar end links, but that's all we're gonna do today. So that's the debut of my sister's Impala.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video of us showcasing that 65 Impala that is in our family, which is my aunt, the Master Mechanic's sister. If you guys like the video, please go down below, hit the like button, and if you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button and show some support. If you want to see more videos like this coming soon on the channel, then, you know, do that, and we'll get them out for you guys. In the meantime, here's a couple for you to check out, a couple other videos that we did here on the channel, and we will see you guys next time.